And honestly,
we should have gone to Poland last year.
Maybe.
But the positions wouldn't have been as nice, and neither was the pay. The pay wasn't as much as it is now, and the positions weren't what they are now. I mean,
timing is definitely everything. Yeah. But I think, like I said before, we came to Mexico thinking it was an upgrade from China.
It's not.
And it's not.
It's not at all.
And
it's just a different kind of stupid.
Well, I don't know if it, I think when we were in China, we were looking for more westernized.
Yes.
And we were looking for better food.
Meh.
The problem with that is we didn't get either one of those things coming to Mexico. And I think Mexicans see themselves as having those things, but not really realizing that they're not there yet.
I think they have them in...
Mexicans look up to Chinese.
Which is weird.
Which
is worse.
You know, that in itself, and I think most of Latin America probably looks up to the Chinese because of industry, because of what they, I mean, when you fly into Mexico City, it looks like a flat fucking city.
Yeah, it does.
You know, especially if you're coming from China. You come from China, there's more apartment buildings that are high rises than high rises in Mexico City.
Yeah,
I mean, Mexico City is the most built up city. I mean, come on now.
That was one of the things that was part of the culture shock that people don't really. They expect to have like language culture shock and food culture shock and people interaction culture shock, but I think you forget the environmental bit of it because flying in, I expected to see tall buildings. And I'm sorry, but a 10-story building is not tall.
You expected to see tall buildings in Mexico?
I did. Because Mexico City has like 18 million people and blah, blah, blah. And so I expected it to be up.
Nope.
It is not.
Not at all.
At all. Like, no.
People think Mexico City's a big city.
It's not.
It's not.
Not compared to the small cities in China.
I mean, wasn't our neighborhood in Wuhan like twice the size?
Our neighborhood was over 100,000 people.
Right, just our neighborhood. And just our complex.
All those buildings that we looked out on, it was 100,000 people out there. So, you know, unfortunately, we made certain assumptions about Mexico that now we know.
Right.
And if now being in Mexico basically means I'll never want to go anywhere in Latin America doing what we do.
No.
Because if this is because like I said this to someone at some point, most people in Latin America look up to Mexico.
Yeah.
So if this is the top of Latin America,
yep.
No. And if everybody else is somewhere
the next rung
looking
down
toward Mexico City as the top of the pyramid, no, then I don't want to come to your country.
Yeah.
Because basically I'm always going to be upset, angry, mad, dissatisfied with every single aspect of what you're doing because Mexico City's not there yet.
Well, someone had asked recently, did we not like Mexico? And I said, it just hasn't been the greatest for our family. Like, I don't know if I don't like the whole country. I've not been to the whole country. I've only been to 3 places.
Yeah, I know, but going to another place, what do you think would be different?
I don't know, because from what the other expats say, there are areas that are completely different.
No, different. But what would be different?
The people are different. The food is different.
People, food.
The climate is different.
Climate.
So.
I mean, okay, now.
Management.
What do you think is going to be different about the food that you can eat?
Nothing. There's nothing different.
Okay, so it's going to be lots of beef and pork.
And what do you think is different about the people that you can understand?
And that would make you want to be there.
There's
because
nothing.
Honestly, there's what else is there?
No, but what I was. So I said Mexico hasn't been the greatest to us, and we're just ready for a change. It's for me, it's never felt like one of the reasons I enjoy living outside of the United States. I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but it's because of the adventure. It's because of the learning of the new things. It's the new experiences, the learning about the culture and the food and all of these things and the history. I love the history. But being here, it's like you don't get any of that.
Well, you could. You
studied
it.
But it's not something that's evident in every aspect of my life. Like living in China, I walked down the street and saw things and experienced things that I had never experienced before. The same in Thailand. But then we moved here and I'm just like, meh, it's like US Lite. I've been saying that since we arrived. It's like US Lite. And I don't want to be in the US. And when I said this, that it was sort of US Lite, a friend of mine who's currently living abroad as well, she said, my time in Mexico was pretty much the same as you're describing. She's like, we ended up leaving 8 months earlier than we had planned because I couldn't deal with it anymore.
I don't think people understand that. And this is my current working theory about Mexico or about people that enjoy being in Mexico is if you're a laid back kind of person that does not need rules, doesn't enjoy rules, wants has no problems with any kind of food or any, because basically you take the food out of Mexico, there's no reason to be in Mexico. Literally none.
They have some magnificent food.
Right, they have the great food. But once you take that away,
it's like love on a plate, but
you don't. You're trying to. I'm agreeing with you, but the idea is once that's gone, what do you have left? What reason does anybody have to come and live and work in Mexico over other places in the world?
It's like saying,
there's no other reason.
It's like saying there's a movie with Will Smith in it and he's in there for 2 minutes. There's no more draw to that movie.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's the problem. Mexico is for the foreigner, it's all about the food. And then, because it's not about the people, I know that even here in Puebla, it's not good for foreigners necessarily. It's people find individuals, but you will find individuals that are nice to you anywhere in the world.
Yep.
That is really not a thing that expats are going to be looking for, because there's always some people, a nice neighbor, there's always those people. So that's really not,
and I think
not it.
I think maybe that's...
we still talk to people from Thailand.
Right.
That's not the point.
And I think that's one of the best parts of being an expat, is to be able to connect with people from all over the world, wherever you are, and to learn from them, and it helps you grow as a person. But that's not a reason to stay in a country that you're unhappy in. Someone asked me why Europe.
Why not?
And I said, because we haven't been there yet. We've never been to Europe. None of us have been to Europe. So, and it's some place that I've wanted to live since I was 12 years old. So why not make it happen?
I guess my thing is, what kind of person finds Mexico a good place?
Someone who, likes to not have order in their life.
That's what you have to think about. Just like, what kind of person finds, say, rural Texas? Seriously, rural Texas, rural Montana.
I would enjoy rural Montana because there are
not
no people there.
But that's what I'm saying. What kind of person is the kind of person that thrives in that environment? And I think the people that thrive from the U.S., that thrive in this environment, or from England, or from wherever, is because it feels like it's a lot more open, a lot more, I can just do whatever I want. Of course you can, because there are no fucking rules. And the rules that are there are not followed. And the laws that are there can always be circumvented. that if you're that kind of person, fine. But then when you're not that kind of person, everything just feels bad. It does not feel good to be there.
Yeah.
You know, when you ask a question and somebody says, "Oh, you have to do this," you say, "Okay, fine, I'll just go with that." And then you find out 5 minutes later you didn't have to do any of that,
right,
because that wasn't really the rule, and nobody follows that rule anyway. And it's like, oh God, then why did you tell me that I had to? Why did you tell me that I must? Why not just tell me there is no real rule for this?
Yep.
You know, and that kind of thing, that way of thinking about how to live your life.
Right.
You know.
Kids can't chew gum in the classroom. Okay, great. Is it in the handbook so I can point to it as a rule? No, it's not in the handbook. So it's not a rule. Yes, it's a rule. Kids can't chew gum in the classroom. But it's not written down anywhere, so it's not a rule.
I'm telling you. It's being here is just not a positive experience based on all the other experiences that we've had. Being in Mexico is not one of those. It's not one of those places that I would say, and especially being vegan, it's not one of those places where it's like, oh, I really like Thailand. I definitely would go back to Thailand.
Yeah.
I have no problem with Thailand at all. Nothing. I mean, there's immigration problems, but you know where the popular place that people are shipping their old elderly off to right now is Thailand.
Yeah, because you can live there. You could when we lived there. Retirees could live in Thailand comfortably, and they had just changed it where they could get a 5-year visa, so retirement visa.
But they're good.
Right. You can, if you're a retiree, no kids, not a lot of debt, you could easily live comfortably in Phuket on $1,500, $2,000 a month. Easily.
So that's what I'm saying.
And that's going out to dinner and all
I
that
have
other
no problem
jazz.
with Thailand. But like China, no. I don't even want to put a toe back in China again.
Not even Macau?
Macau wasn't great. Macau, you know how angry I was in Macau?
I do.
Are you flipping kidding me? But I also don't like I'm not a gambler.
Nah,
So Macau has no real, yeah, you want to go there and see it.
But we didn't do a lot of the historical stuff there because it was pouring down rain. Torrential downpours.
Yeah, it was that season.
Yep.
But there's nothing about China, Hong Kong.
I'd like to visit Tibet. I don't want to live there. I would like to visit Tibet.
Yeah, but that means you're going to China.
No, you can get to Tibet without going through China.
Can you?
Yes.
Not having to go through China's bureaucracy?
Yes, you can.
To go visit Tibet?
You can.
That doesn't sound right.
If we lived in China, because I looked at this, if we lived in China, we had to go with a Chinese tour group, which meant giving them our passports and being under their rules. But if you're foreign and you live outside of China, there are ways to get to Tibet without doing anything Chinese.
All I know is unfortunately, China showed its ass. So I know there's nothing about China that I want to see, be around. No, there's no part of it.
If I gave you a table full of Dongbei food right now, though, you'd tear it up.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes,
Almost
you would.
all
There's a lot of stuff there that
there
you could
was not. When I ate that food, I was not vegan.
But you could still eat after you became vegan.
Not really. There was so much no, I couldn't.
Not the same.
Seriously, think about it. Think about the ingredients that were in those things. They all had meat, and they all were cooked in a way that Thailand allowed that. China did not. But I wasn't vegan in China.
You were.
Not.
It's the last half of China.
I was pretty much.
Well, the
telling you that
last 6 months.
And
And
we had to be
eating.
able to tell everybody, no meat on anything, and you have to cook it in another thing, and all that stuff. So, yeah,
I can still
all I'm
say
saying
it.
is,
Well, I can still say it.
I
I can't say it in Spanish, but I can say it in Mandarin.
hey, here is not even worth it. Because once you take the meat off a taco, you don't have anything left.
Nope. You get a warm tortilla with lettuce.
No, you don't get
don't
lettuce.
get lettuce.
It's just a warm tortilla.
Oh yeah, they don't make
It's a
tacos
tortilla
like
with
we make
meat.
tacos.
After that, there is nothing else. So you take
get
the
a
meat off, you
warm
get a tortilla. Yeah.
And you can't eat
and
that either.
you get a tortilla with sauce. Yeah, and I can't eat the tortilla because the tortilla was warmed on the same thing that the meat was made on.
Yep.
Which is great for those people that eat that stuff, but it's not great for me. So,
Right.
anyway, yeah, I think we're still on the hunt for a good place.
Well, it's funny because someone was
Amsterdam.
asking me about
Amsterdam.
the food in Poland, because food's always a big part of our move.
You can order the weed. You can order the tweeds in the shops. You just walk in and order the tweeds.
Really?
Yeah. It's like a coffee shop for tweed.
Interesting.
Anyway,
We should be there.
they were asking
We need
about
to go there, right?
about Polish food, and
What?
I don't smoke weed.
Well, we'll give you a little hook, a little pipe, a little something. You'll be alright. We were talking about shrooms before. Why not?
no.
What do you mean no? Wasn't this on the Gooplab?
I love how you.
Didn't you say it was on the
I
Gooplab?
love how you have the biggest objection to the least harmful drug.
Come on now.
That's so funny to me.
We need our shroom time.
Literally the thing that is medicinal, that is prescribed
So that
by
you can-
doctors.
You can
have
lay on the
biggest
floor
objection
and
to.
talk about your childhood and get it all out. It'll be fine, little shroom thing.
I can't do that anyway.
Why not?
It's mushroom.
Oh, you'll be alright. You're gonna throw up anyway. It's not a big deal.
Go throw up.
You literally gonna throw up anyway. It's like ayahuasca or.
I've never heard anybody throw
Oh
up.
yeah. You're gonna throw up. Most likely.
Really?
Yeah.
If you do
Why would I do that to
What is it?
myself?
Ayahuasca and what's the cactus one?
Peyote.
Peyote. Yeah, you're gonna throw up. It's all good. And once you do,
Is that how it gets out of your system?
No,
No.
that's how it gets like
Released. Oh.
Not really, but yes. Ha!
That's how it gets more potent.
Little ayahuasca.
Oh, you're gonna love this. I learned that in Poland they have a lot of pickled stuff. Blech.
What are you blowing?
I don't like pickled stuff.
I hate pickles and everything that is pickled.
Pickles is yummy.
I enjoy a pickle.
You like relish, don't you?
Only if
No.
it's the one
It's
kind
chopped
of
up
pickle.
pickles.
Sure is. Huh?
I only enjoy one kind of pickle. I'm a little bit bougie in this fashion because the jar of pickles is like $10 and I only eat one, and then I wait a few weeks and eat one.
What kind of pickles?
It's candied dill. There's only one,
Candied dill. So
Yep.
that means you may be able to get this for cheap.
and there's only one brand
Okay.
that makes this particular type of pickle. Thanks, Grams.
Well, I mean, you could always
but-
get, pickled cabbage.
No.
Kimchi.
I mean, I do enjoy sauerkraut though, which is basically
Sauerkraut?
pickled cabbage.
but kimchi is.
I'm not eating.
Is that cabbage?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And then they stick it in the ground for 3 months.
It's the cabbage
6 months.
cabbage. It's the
It's
cabbage.
the Chinese
Long
cabbage.
yeah.
the daddy long cabbage.
Daddy long cabbage.
But someone was asking me about the Polish food, and I was like, yeah, I don't like Polish food. At least the stuff from the States, I've never had
That sounds
a
like
Polish
a rapper
grandma make me
named
food.
Daddy long cabbage. What up, Daddy long cabbage?
But Polish food has almost everything I don't like in food. Like the cabbage. I'm not a fan of
I
cabbage.
don't like cabbage either. Except for Daddy long cabbage.
It's like the tomato sauce, like the tomato juice, things cooked in tomato juice.
tomato
Like
juice.
glumpies, for example. Have you ever had a glumpy?
I don't know what a glumpy is.
You've never had one.
Sounds like something from Rick and Morty.
A glumpy is a cabbage leaf, and inside the cabbage leaf is like ground wheat with rice, and then they roll it up into like a little package, and then they put them in a baking dish and pour tomato juice over it, and then bake it like that.
Okay.
Gross.
Why is it gross?
It's like everything I don't
But I
like
don't
in
eat
one.
beef, so I don't.
But
know.
I could make it vegan. I could use the dry
I don't see the
soy.
problem here. I think that sounds delicious, minus the beef.
Yuck! No,
Why?
Nothing about it is
Cabbage
delicious.
baked in tomato juice?
Okay, I'm vegan. Oh God, this is vegetables. It's all good.
Oh.
In pierogies, I'm not a fan of pierogies.
What's a problem?
It's like a.
I know nothing.
See,
about
at least
Polish
you guys
food.
are going to be able to
Except
eat
for-
a lot of
Except
the
for a
foods.
punchki. That's the only.
That's the only
Polish
thing.
food I know.
That's the only thing I
Only
like.
Polish thing I know. That's the
Punchkis are
that's the
awesome.
only one.
The Fat Tuesday, the Fat Tuesday, the Fat Tuesday food of the day.
A
Yes.
pierogi is basically a Polish dumpling.
But what's
Is there
inside?
something specific. that
Yes,
is-
yes, of course.
I think it's like meat or fish. It says they're usually dough based on bread, flour, or potatoes, and can be made with meat, fish, cheese, vegetables, fruits, or sweets. So
It's kind of a dumpling that
it's
put whatever you could.
they
eat
literally
on.
they boil it just like a like the fried dumpling. You boil it first and then you sear it. So
Just put whatever in it.
maybe it's because I've only had the potato pierogies and I don't like that. I don't like that texture. I don't like the.
I know, but right now, I mean, you're talking about you are getting Polish food from the United States.
Right,
Now,
from the
how
Polish-
different was Chinese food in the United States?
Right.
Okay, folks, this
So-
is a PSA. Chinese food in Western cultures is not Chinese.
Not at all. Not even recognizable.
I can't eat. We can't even eat it. Aaron threw it up because he couldn't take it. It was so.
It tasted good.
It tasted good, but it wasn't Chinese food.
No, it wasn't Chinese food. What's that place that I was getting stuff from here?
PF Chang's.
Yeah, that's not Chinese food.
It's not Chinese.
It's not
and
Chinese
it's
food
super
at all.
expensive, and it's shit food.
And what's the other one? The Panda place?
Panda Express.
None of that is Chinese food.
No.
It's in the United States. It's food made for an American palate. In Mexico, it's food made for a Mexican palate. It's
But
not
they're
Chinese.
very similar to China. The Panda Express here in Mexico is very, very, very close to the stuff you get in the States, if not exactly the same.
The palates are not that different.
They are. It's not like.
I mean, we eat tacos. They eat tacos.
But I did find out that in our
Tacos
city,
Are sad.
Huh?
Their tacos are sad.
No, they're not. Their tacos are what tacos are.
right?
Yeah, I know, but
Not the bastardized version that we've
Not that
created.
hard shell thing you get at Taco Hell.
even if it isn't hard
With
shell,
a
it's
with
just
a Dorito shell.
tortilla with meat slapped in it and a
Yeah, that's
sauce.
it.
It's like
That's a
how
taco.
How is that fulfilling for
God,
anyone?
that is a taco.
Yeah, it's just that it's the original thing doesn't mean it's better
Why you hating on the taco?
because it's not.
It's literally. what
It's
a
not
taco
as
is.
good as just make meat, beans, cheese, lettuce.
That's an American
onion.
thing. All an American thing.
Yeah, well, it's better.
It's better.
The original taco sucks. It's a sad little.
That's like
piece
saying
of
that.
shoe
What is
leather
that?
and
What is that
tortilla.
chicken dish that's orange?
Orange chicken.
No, it's not orange chicken.
Yeah.
Sweet and sour chicken.
Sweet and sour chicken.
There's
That's
honey
what it is.
chicken, orange chicken,
No,
sweet
no,
and
no, no,
sour
no,
chicken,
no, there's no honey
tangerine
chicken.
chicken.
Oh God, none of those things.
Bourbon chicken.
I
liked that one.
Anyway. All right, are you done talking to these people now? Now that
We've
you went
talked
on
for
your
like
rant,
3 hours now.
are you good?
I blacked out.
If Rachel said "if you," I thought about taking "if you" from her show to put in our show. That'd be funny. If you want to follow the Traveling Fars, you can find us on the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, and anywhere good podcasts are sold at the Traveling Fars. If you like the Instagram or the Twitters, Traveling Fars. If you like the email that Karen will read incessantly. Travelingfars@gmail.com and the blog space, thetravelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberries.
Don't forget to check out Aaron's game chat on YouTube.
We'll be
Facebook,
posting
and
today,
Instagram.
Saturday the 2nd. It's already up. Go over there and check it out. Aaron's
out all
game
those
chat.
things.
Go, it's funny.
We might have to have a Twitch now.
Oh God, we'll find out.
I mean,
Mommy threw us under the bus.
Yeah, since
We are
she
definitely under the
threw
bus
us
now.
into the-
So Twitch
into-
is a thing that we have to go potentially do. So
that
oh,
might.
God. Why do you always do this? Why don't you stop browsing
I know,
things
why don't you just?
at the end of our show? Say goodbye to the people.
Bye, people.
No, look at the people. Don't look at that. Look at the people. Say goodbye to the people.
They put
Peace.
pork lard on their bread and eat it like butter.
Pork lard is delicious.
God!
Crispy bits of crackling in it.
Oh, pork lard with crackling. Man, people out there are freaking going nuts right now.
I'm about to try that right now.
I know. There's somebody out there like this.
They spread it on their bread like it's a damn.
Oh,
and they eat fat.
I mean, that's what butter is.
Yeah,
You
it
eat
is.
butter.
You made
Butter is fat.
I know.
And it's separated.
Yeah.
Fat.
They just spread it
Keegan's
on there.
thinking about butter dancing. Look at her.
What?
Ah! She was over there dancing because I said butter.
Because I made the butter this week.
See? All right.